Most people are going to avoid networking if they can help it. It's because they usually feel really awkward at these events. Hi, I'm Amber. Welcome to Film School, where I teach you all about the film industry. In this video, we are talking about how to master networking without feeling awkward. Networking is going to be the thing that is the difference maker in your career to making sure you get more opportunities, because you are 7 times more likely to actually get a job through your network than not, and someone recommending you because you know them. So you want to make sure you can network and expand your network. And a lot of people feel a little awkward doing this. So this is where we're going to go into how to do it without feeling weird. Trust me, I have been there. I'm an introvert. I did not like talking to random people. I was very fearful when you put me into a room with a bunch of people I did not know. So I understand the anxiety when it comes to going to a networking event or a new place where you don't know anybody and you know you have to network with people. The number one thing that helps me is prep. Mental prep. Maybe a couple days before or maybe the morning of an event, I will think about why I want to be there. What do I want to get out of it? Okay, those are the 2 things you have to figure out. Why are you there? What do you want to get out of it? Have a goal in mind. What do you want to achieve? Is it just meeting one person, having a good conversation with one person? That's a great goal. I mean, especially if you're just getting into this and it's really hard for you to talk to people and branch out. I think about how I want the event to go. And also I hype myself up. I am like, I deserve to be in the room. I'm great with people. This is what's great about me. Here are my strengths.
Go with your bad self.
So you kind of have questions in your arsenal, like already to go. For example, you kind of want to avoid the question of like, what do you do? Because everyone asks that question. Do something a little bit different. Ask them like, hey, what is something that you worked on that you loved? What's come up recently that you are excited about? Or what do you have coming up that you're excited about? Or what recently happened that you're excited about? Because the conversation can go in so many different areas and it leaves it open to more possibility of actually a deeper connection. Make sure you're asking open-ended questions. Those are the key to a good conversation. Thinking about all this during your prep time, on the way there, thinking about your fun fact that you want to share with people. That's something you can prep beforehand. Prep, mental prep. Make sure that you know that, like, yes, you're dope as fuck and you deserve to be there.
Badass, 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 badass.
And people are privileged to get to know you and vice versa. So your body language. We can talk about body language, and there's books and books and books about body language and those social cues of what deflects people or invites people in. And a couple of things I want to cover body language is like, stay open. Don't put your hands like this and guard yourself. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure you're open, you're fronting to somebody when you're talking to them. There are a lot of different things you can do with body language that invites the people to come talk to you and then welcoming you into a conversation. Another big key to body language is smiling. When you are smiling, that is a cue for warmth, and people are like, oh my God, that person's smiling. They are non-threatening. Okay, so they invite you in to come for a chat. Body language, if you are like, okay, how can I fix my body language? When you're standing in an area or something, you take inventory of like, what are my hands doing? What are my legs doing? What are my shoulders doing? What is my face doing? Listen, I know you guys out there have resting bitch face.
Why you mad? Fix your face.
Trust me, I understand. I'm well aware of how it goes, and I'm a victim of this myself. So just know that, like, do like a checklist of your body and what's it doing. So your body language is gonna be like half the battle. If you are like stuffed in the corner trying to make yourself smaller, no one's going to see you. Everyone's going to kind of ignore you. No one's going to want the attention of you. So just think about your body language. If you are worried about talking at a networking event or getting to know people, listen more. And actually, this probably goes for everyone. You should listen more, because here's what's happening. When you are talking with a person, you're having a conversation with someone, most of the time we are worried about what are we going to say next? How are we gonna fill the silence and the space? So instead of doing that, just look at the person. Make sure you're making eye contact. That also goes into body language. Eye contact, we're nodding. Body language again, we're active listening, okay? Eye contact and nodding, you're giving that affirmation of what the person is saying, and you're like, yes, I like what you're saying, yes. Make sure you're listening, actually listening to the person who is talking to you. There's nothing worse than they stop talking, and then you're like, wait, what did they just say? Oh my God. Then you get into awkward territory. So just make sure you're listening more, because when you're listening, then you can kind of take inventory of like, oh, this is what they got excited about. This is something that interests them. So make sure listening is half the battle, guys. If you know how to be an active listener, use this to your advantage. People love confidence. People are attracted to confidence. And a lot of people are like, well, I don't really have confidence. this is what works for me. People always ask me, you know, you're an introvert, how are you an AD? How are you functioning on AD? Like as an AD when you have to like talk to everyone and communicate with everybody and make sure you're talking to everyone. It tends to be less of a problem now, but when I first started, what I used to do is I kind of like made my mental preparation, and then I saw me being an AD as a role I stepped into, as if I was like stepping into an acting role. So this is what I want you to do. When you go to your next networking event or workshop or whatever, when you're like, I have to talk to people, oh my God, step into the role of a confident person.
You know those girls that are like confident? Yeah, I hate them. Me too. I just pretended to be one of them. Okay,
what would a confident person do? What do they act like? What are their mannerisms? What do they talk like? So just think about stepping into the role of what a confident person would do. And this kind of borders on the whole fake it till you make it, but I don't like that because I don't think faking who you are is what I want you to do. I want you to be who you are, but then think of it, put that spin on like, okay, me as a confident person would do X, Y, and Z. We would say X, Y, and Z. We would present ourselves with X, Y, and Z. Confidence. People are attracted to confidence. And also this goes into my next one of having no fear. When you are fearless, people see you as confident. So I recently had an interview where it involved a new company. Lots of different people were there, and my peers who I was like interviewing with, or auditioning with, I should say. And I just was talking to my peers and, you know, where are they from? People from California, Florida, Denver, whatever. And then I walked over to a group of 4 people, not knowing that some of them were with the company, some of them were not. And I was like, hey, I, saw you guys talking over here, was wondering who you were. Hi, I'm Amber. I just went up and talked to them. And this also happened in another event I was at too, where an alumni event was happening for my school. And I saw a group of guys, I was like, oh, they look like really fun. And I kept seeing them. They were like in my peripheral, and I kept seeing them. They were older guys, because like we have name tags and then like the year that we graduated. And I just went up to them and I was like, hey, you guys look like really fun. What year did you graduate? What did you go for school for? And I just went up to them and started talking to them. I didn't have fear that they would reject me because people welcome in confident people, especially if you're smiling and you're like, hey, I want to know more about you, and you're listening and you just listen to their stories. So confidence and being fearless goes a long way. A couple of other ones involve little tips and things you can do to alleviate the awkwardness is talk to the host of the event. If you find the host, you thank them, ask them why they put the event on. That gets you and that person talking, and they're probably passionate about why they put this event on, and they're probably proud of it. So talking to the host is one way to kind of get around like stepping into something that is like, I have no idea who this person is, but then like you find the host, you thank them, and then talk about like them putting the event on and like how they got into doing this or why they did it. Also, another thing is introducing people to other people. So say you're talking to one person, like you did a lot of work to talk to this one person. You see someone walking in, they're by themselves and they're like, oh, they're in this awkward situation now. They're like, who are they going to talk to? Make eye contact with that person and like, oh, hey, welcome them into the circle. Welcome them into the circle and introduce like, oh, hey, this is so-and-so. Who are you? They can introduce themselves. Then you get other people talking. It's quite lovely when you're the facilitator. So I like to put that into the role of like, you have a mission. And when you have a mission, things just go a little bit easier. So if you want to be the one that introduces people to other people, that's great. People are going to be like, oh, I knew this person because you introduced them to so-and-so. So think about being the person that talks to the host, and think about being the person that introduces people to other people, and also welcoming people into the conversation that you're having. This is a really good conversation starter, is you compliment someone for something that they have. Do they have nice earrings? Do they have a great suit? Or I don't know. They have great hair, nails. There are so many things that you can compliment another person about, even if it was guy to guy, guy to female is kind of hard. I'm not going to lie to you about that. If a male compliments a female, it is pretty hard, but females can really get away with complimenting people. Use compliments to start, breaking the ice. You can definitely use that as a way to start a conversation. Because then you compliment that person and you're like, oh yeah, and what do you do? And what have you worked on? What are you here? It can go so far. It's great. Don't be ashamed or feel like you need to go. Because sometimes after I talk to 4 or 5 people, or even 3 people, I'm like, I need a break. Step away for a minute. Go get a drink, use the bathroom, or step outside to get some fresh air. Don't be afraid to kind of just take a break and just collect yourself. And also, if you've been there for an hour or two and you've talked to 5 people and you're like, I think I'm good, I reached my goal. I got better at conversation. I met someone. I gave my information out to a couple people. I think I've achieved what I wanted to here. You can leave. No one's asking you to be the last person standing and be there for hours. Take you into account on how you feel and gauge how you're doing. Because everyone's social battery is going to be different. Because some people can be there till hours and hours and hours, and others are like, okay, I've done a lot. I put a lot of energy into this, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna leave. When you are talking to people, make sure you have some interesting facts about you in your back pocket. You know what you've done in your life, so you're not thinking on the spot and being like, oh yeah, I did, because sometimes network events have like structured things. Well, they'll be like, oh, introduce yourself and say a fun fact. Well, what is your fun fact? My go-to is like, oh, I studied abroad in Australia, and I am the founder of Beyond Film School, or I'm an AD, depending on what circles I'm in. So there's a couple of go-tos that I have. So have your go-to fun facts ready to go. Also, don't be afraid to share information or cool things about you. A lot of people are like, I don't know what to say. You can brag about yourself in a humble way. There's no, the humble brag sounds really bad, but talk about yourself, talk about what you've done, because a lot of people in those circles who are actually going to network events are going to celebrate you anyways, and they're not there to be mean-spirited. So, be open with what you achieved or cool things that you've done. Share interesting things about you, because when you share interesting things about you, you tend to get remembered more. And because you get remembered, you usually will be thought of when an opportunity comes up, and that's how you get the job. So just think about the interesting things that you can say in a conversation that get you remembered. When you're having these conversations, this is this is not really how to avoid awkwardness, but trying to get the most out of a networking opportunity is making sure that you think about not how they can help you, but how you can help them. And this is the major difference for people who have great networks, they have more opportunities and they have a lot going on, and then people who are not getting a lot of anything because they're seeing networking as a transactional thing. And there's nothing worse than thinking about networking as transactional that is like boring and no one wants to do it. Making sure that you go into an event, you talk to people, think about how you can help them. What advice can you give them? When you follow up, which is going to be the next thing, when you follow up, think about like, oh, you know what? I saw this article. I read this book that we talked about. And I think you would love it. How can you help them? Think about that. Take the focus off you. Take the obsession off of you and you trying to find a job, and think about how you can help this person in front of you, especially if you've made a connection and then you are talking to each other after the event. Again, this is like another bonus thing for networking. You do the most out of it. Make sure you follow up. If you get someone's information, follow up. What are you doing? If you get someone's information, their email, their phone number, follow up either that night, which I think that night is a little bit too quickly. I always like to do it the day after, or maybe a couple days after, to kind of because a couple days after, then they've kind of lost it in their mind, and then a couple things go by and they're like, oh yes, then they get reminded of, then it kind of gets drilled into them just a little bit more about who you are. So follow up a couple days after, at least the day after, or maybe 2 days after. Follow up. So those are some things that I do to avoid awkward moments when it comes to networking, and I've gotten so much better. Every time I go to one, I implement one little thing, and I swear, if you do anything else, the mental prep of it all is like the biggest thing, and that's why I talk about it first. But if there's something that has been good for you and has helped you improve how to network better and talk to people and talk to strangers and people you don't know, put it in the comments. Let us know what you've done to improve and get rid of your awkwardness when it comes to networking. And if you are trying to go deeper in this topic of networking, trying to find more opportunities and unlocking those film opportunities, I have a mini course. Should take you 1 to 2 hours. I have a 42-page workbook that comes with it, jam-packed of information of where to network, how to do it in person and online. Super great information. It is there. The link will be below for you in the description. Check it out. And also, I have a lot of other resources at beyondfilmschool.com. So if you've been this far in the video, I know that you care about your film career and being a filmmaker. And please like and subscribe, because it helps me grow as a YouTuber. And then this video gets to other people who can use it to their advantage, and it helps them. So thank you so much for watching. That's it for now. I shall see you next time.